All right, good evening, everybody.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, sir.
Uh, yeah, what were we looking at the last time? Just remind me.
So the last thing we looked at was the level of comprehension, levels of comprehension.
Under what topic?
So I think it's active listening.
Under active listening. Right. So it is active listening. So we were discussing listening. So can somebody just remind me some of what we discussed in the last class?
Yes, sir. Within the active listening, we have the level of comprehension, which includes the lateral comprehension with that,
Literal, not lateral. Literal.
the literal
Mhm.
literal level, which is the who, the 5 W's, who, what, where, when, how.
Mhm.
You have the interpretive comprehension. That is where we are inferring or are assuming or speculation
Or speculating.
from what is speculating what from what is being said.
Mhm.
We have the analysis, which means to break down. We also have the application. We have synthesis and evaluation.
Right. And that was the last part of the discussion, right?
Yes, sir. Evaluation was where we stop.
Okay. All right. And I think we had looked at context. So that's what we were discussing. It came under the broad topic of context for listening, the appreciative, the empathic, and the comprehensive listening. And I think we had started, did we look at the barriers to effective listening? No, we don't reach barriers yet. We're supposed to also discuss listening critically. Right. So the one that came under about levels of comprehension or listening for comprehension, and comprehension has having several levels. That was one, context for listening, because the first one was listening for appreciation, the other was listening for empathy, the third one was listening for comprehension, which had a much extensive discussion. And now we're going to talk about listening critically. So that's where we are in that process, listening critically.
Sir,
Yes.
one question before we get further. They sent a request for override for this course. I don't know if it's something that you saw. I realize I'm still not getting the link for the class.
I don't approve the overrides, but what you can do, send me an email and I'll speak to the head of school tomorrow and have him address it.
Okay, sir.
So send me an email,
Yes, sir.
and then I'll have them address it. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
All right. Yeah. So we're going to talk about no. So when we say critical listening, what's the meaning of the notion of critical? When we say critical, what do we mean by that?
Excuse me, sir. I think we had touched on it last week. I think the definition that you gave was not only analyzing the information, but making some decisions about the value of the
Right. So
information
so
given.
that's where we stop then.
Yes, sir.
Right. So that would
And I
be,
think we kind of went through the barriers also.
we went through, and what were some of the barriers? Oh yes. We did discuss the
Yes,
barriers.
sir.
Right. We did discuss the barriers. We did. I'm recalling now. I am recalling now. So we looked at that. All right. Just want to make All right, so we looked at that. Let me just look at one quick thing. There's something that I want to go through with. I'm waiting for the course leader to send me something in the interim. Desktop. Right. All right. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to walk you through there is we did look at the difference between hearing and listening. What did we say again? What was the difference between hearing and listening?
Sir, the difference between hearing and listening is that hearing is unconscious. My voice is a little hoarse. While listening is conscious. Hearing here, sir.
You can type in or don't kill yourself. You can actually type. And in the interim, someone else can respond, please. Can someone else?
Sorry, hearing is a natural ability to hear.
Can I use that word, the word hearing in the definition?
Okay, sir. Hearing is natural. Meaning that you, once there's no impediment.
You, who's the you you're talking? Me?
Once the individual doesn't have an impediment, it is natural in the sense that they cannot help but hearing.
They cannot help but receive sound.
But receive sound. I stand corrected.
Yes.
And with listening, you pay attention to the sounds that you're hearing.
You, who's the you?
The individual.
All right, so. All right, so the other thing that we're going to do, I want us to listen, what we're going to do in terms of critical listening, because that part is very important, is that we want to listen to the development of an argument. But before we get to the development of an argument, let's just look at the structure of an argument or of a persuasive, well, it's an argumentative speech. And then we're going to find an actual example that has at least some of these particular areas. So we're looking at what is called an argumentative speech. And even though it says essay, it's really a speech because it's following the same structure. There's an introduction. There are reasons that support the thesis. So you have reason 1, reason 2, reason 3, and then you have the supporting evidence. You don't necessarily always hear reason 1, reason 2, reason 3. And then you have, in some instances, you have the counter arguments, which is really the rebuttal in many instances. So what we're going to try to do today is yes.
You spoke a bit fast. You said in some instances we don't normally have 3 of them. We can have 1, or is it that we can just have 2?
I'm saying in some instances the speaker.
Okay.
So you don't want to see it necessarily the way I'm showing you here, where there's a clear introduction. So there is a clear there's a clear introduction in terms of the parameters of the argument. So like the government and the opposition, or they call them the proposition and the opposition. All right. And you listen for the reason, then you listen for the supporting evidence of the reason, then you listen for the other reason and the supporting evidence. All right. So let me screenshot this. Is everybody understanding what I'm saying? I hope I'm not going a little bit too fast. Can somebody say hi in the group? Let me find the group. Oh, yes, I found it. Let me find it. And I did. So the structure of an argument is somewhat similar to the structure of writing an essay, like an expository essay where you have an introduction, you have the thesis, which is a controlling idea, which tells you which side of the argument the person is supporting. Then you have the reason, the reasons, and then the reason are, each reason is supported by 2 pieces of evidence for the most instance. And then you might have the rebuttal. All right. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So let's just try and look at an example, because that's the only way you're going to know if you really understand. So some of this wonderful thing we're going to skip a little.
We also have with us this morning Mr. Claude Rattray, and Mr. Rattray is the president of the board of directors for Manchester Cooperative Credit Union. And of course, the very eloquent and beautiful Vivienne Morris Brown, who JP, and a very lovely lady, somebody who is very authentic in what she does. And she has been with us throughout the competition, our chief judge for this.
I want you to listen to the moot. So you're going to hear the moot, and then you're going to, for example, record what is the proposition arguing and what is the opposition arguing. And then you listen to, for example, what are the reasons to support that particular, the thesis, quote unquote, or the controlling idea for each team. Is that clear?
Sir, I'm one time vice principal at Mr. Rattray.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Here, wave your hands, Mrs. Morris Brown. Thank you so much. So we want to say indeed welcome to you, and thank you so much for being with us this morning as our team of adjudicators. All right, so I am going to start with DeCarteret College. I'm going to ask you to stand and introduce yourselves.
2021 high school graduates across Jamaica. Be a part of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information's ground.
I am Lee Ann Robinson. I am the leader of the proposition team. I enjoy debating
the youth and how they have
I'm going to bring it back now, a little.
Positively impact.
Have been given as soon as the time the signal is given, then we will get right into our match for this morning.
Be it resolved that our youth have been given adequate opportunities to positively impact our country's economy. The marketing manager, Mr. Goodshaw, made reference to the country's credit union's initiative of hosting debating competitions as a part of the youth's development, a perfect way to begin our stance. Adjudicators, Miss Time Speaker, Timekeeper, and my worthy opponents, a pleasant morning to you all. It is my duty as first speaker to introduce to you our rigid stance in proposition of the moot for today's debate. Be it resolved that our youth have been given adequate opportunity to positively impact our country's economy.
It is also in my jurisdiction to accurately define the key terms of the MOOT: youth, adequate opportunities, positively impact, and economy. According to the National Youth Policy of Jamaica, and I quote, youth is defined as those between the age of 15 and 24 who have passed through the dependent stage of childhood, are in the semi-independence of adolescence, or who will soon acquire the maturity of adulthood, end quote. Adequate opportunities, according to the vocabulary.com, refers to, and I quote, a suitable amount of favorable circumstances, end quote. To positively impact, according to the vocabulary.com, refers to, and I quote, good influence on something or someone, end quote. And lastly, economy, according to the oxforddictionary.com, and I quote, is a state of a country or region in terms of the production and consumption of goods and services and the supply of money, end quote. As the leader of the proposition, I will extensively focus on how the youth are able to positively impact the economy by utilizing the adequate opportunities made available to them through education. I will also explain how religion assists the youth in impacting on the economy. My second speaker will delineate the opportunities, economical opportunities, and the benefits available to the youth. My third speaker will expound on socially oriented opportunities granted, along with a few educational ones, and also the benefits received by the youth and how they have a positive impact on the economy. Education is the grassroots for growth and development in any economy.
All right, so quick question. What is the position of the proposition and what are the 3 areas of focus for the proposition?
So they are saying that our youths have been given adequate opportunities.
Please note that they use the word youth, not youths.
Okay, sir.
Yes,
Our
the plural of, right, the plural of youth is actually youth, it's not youths. I don't know, they have kind of been changing the English language, but go ahead.
Okay, so it says our youth has been given adequate opportunity to positively impact the economy.
So opportunities have, so our youth have adequate opportunities to positively impact the economy. Is that their position?
Yes, sir.
What are the parameters of their argument? What are their claims rather? Are there subclaims? Yes, because this is the claim and the subclaim.
Sir,
yes.
The claims is that the youths can positively impact the country through education.
No. The claim is that youths have adequate opportunities to positively impact the economy of Jamaica. The subclaim, no, I use the wrong term, so I'm correcting myself too and correcting you as well. The subclaims are 1, what is the first subclaim?
Adequate opportunity created through education.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she mentioned something about religion also.
Yes,
right.
Religion.
The second speaker will look at what?
The economical
benefit and opportunity available to youths.
Yes, and the third speaker will look at?
Social oriented opportunities granted, and I think she said she's gonna also look at some educational benefits also, or is it economical?
No, the third speaker is looking at social. So let's see if we can get to the other speaker.
An economy becomes more productive as a proportion of educated workers increase.
All right, so this is now the...
No.
Hold on. Let me just...
Karen Handel said, creating more and better jobs is how you build a strong economy. Honorable judges, invited guests, timekeeper, colleagues, and my worthy opponents, good morning. The moot brought forward by the proposition today reads, Be it resolved that our youths have been given adequate opportunities to positively impact our country's economy. Judges, we who are here today in this competition are the future. We are the ones to build the economy. When my team and I analyze where we will be in 5 years, at no time in the discussion did we see ourselves in Jamaica. Why is this so? The answer is jobs. No jobs, and availability of jobs for us. As a result, we cannot stifle our conscience and agree with my opponents that adequate opportunities are given. Our youth are not given. Did I say not given? Not given adequate opportunities to impact our country's economy. To substantiate our point, I will define the key terms and restate the mood for clarity. I will also outline the stance that we will take and point out that education or certification without a job is equal to inadequate opportunities to develop the economy. My second speaker will highlight in particular how brain drain...
Hold on. I didn't get her first point because it sounded as if I don't know if anybody got it, but I didn't. Hold on. Sorry, I didn't get it and I was actually making some notes.
Karen Handel said, creating more and better jobs is how you build a strong economy. Honorable judges, invited guests, timekeeper, colleagues, and my worthy opponents, good morning. The moot brought forward by the proposition today reads, be it resolved that our youths have been given adequate opportunities to positively impact our country's economy. Judges, we who are here today in this competition are the future. We are the ones to build the economy. When my team and I analyze where we will be in 5 years, at no time in the discussion did we see ourselves in Jamaica. Why is this so? The answer is jobs. No jobs, and availability of jobs for us. As a result, we cannot stifle our conscience and agree with my opponents that adequate opportunities are given. Our youth are not given. Did I say not given? Not given adequate opportunities to impact our country's economy. To substantiate our point, I will define the key terms and
what are your thoughts in terms of this first speaker?
I think I think she came out very good, her introduction and everything. Yeah.
All right. Anybody else?
She came out with confidence in what, and based on her first point, it seems as if she exactly knows what is going on.
All right. Yeah. All right. Yes. Somebody, Emil was about to speak.
Yes, sir. So so she actually came out and hitting the points from her opposition, right? So exactly the things that her opposition spoke about, she is opposing them then in that sense.
All right, so let's listen to the arguments now. What their stance.
And restate the mood for clarity. I will also outline the stance that we will take and point out that education or certification without a job is equal to inadequate opportunities to develop the economy. My second speaker will highlight in particular how brain drain, which is a result of the inadequate opportunities present, serves as a key factor that stifles the growth of an economy and illustrates how the opportunities present are severely lacking. While my third speaker will concretize our stance by using logical points to show the stagnation of the economy as a result of the inadequate opportunities for the youth. According to the UNESCO website, in relation to education...
All right, so tell me now, what are the 3 points to be developed by the opposition?
So education or certification without a job is classified as not available.
Second point?
Sir, brain drain serves as a key factor that stifles the growth of the economy.
And the third one was stagnation of the economy.
All right. Let's now go back to the proposition and hear how she, the opening speaker, developed her argument, okay?
Our country's economy. The marketing manager, Mr. Goodshaw, made reference to the country's credit union's initiative of hosting debating competitions as a part of the youth's development, a perfect way to begin our stance. Adjudicators, Miss Timekeeper, and my worthy opponents, a pleasant morning to you all. It is my duty as first speaker to introduce to you our rigid stance in proposition of the moot for today's debate. Be it resolved that our youth have been given adequate opportunity to positively impact our country's economy.
It is also in my jurisdiction to accurately define the key terms of the moot. Youth, adequate opportunities, positively impact, and economy. According to the National Youth Policy of Jamaica, and I quote, youth is defined as those between the age of 15 and 24 who have passed through the dependent stage of childhood, are in the semi-independence of adolescence, or who will soon acquire the maturity of adulthood, end quote. Adequate opportunities, according to the vocabulary.com, refers to, and I quote, a suitable amount of favorable circumstances, end quote. To positively impact, according to the vocabulary.com, refers to, and I quote, good influence on something or someone, end quote. And lastly, economy, according to the oxforddictionary.com, and I quote, is a state of a country or region in terms of the production and consumption of goods and services and the supply of money, end quote. As the leader of the proposition, I will extensively focus on how the youth are able to positively impact the economy by utilizing the adequate opportunities made available to them through education. I will also explain how religion assists the youth in impacting on the economy. My second speaker will delineate the opportunities, economical opportunities, and the benefits available to the youth. My third speaker will expound on socially oriented opportunities granted, along with a few educational ones, and also the benefits received by the youth and how they have a positive impact on the economy. Education is the grassroots for growth and development in any economy. An economy becomes more productive as a proportion of educated workers increase. Some of our youth are a part of the productive proportion of educated workers. They can effectively execute tasks that require literacy, numeracy, and to the extent critical thinking. As a result, my opponents, Jamaica's government has been providing a variety of opportunities through the funding and implementation of programs for improved educational performance. The Career Advancement Program, CAP, is a perfect example of a valued opportunity offered to the youth of Jamaica. According to an article located on the JIS News webpage, and I quote, more than 63,755 students have enrolled into the CAP program since its implementation 7 years ago. An initiative under the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, CAP provides an opportunity for students aged 16 to 18 to gain valuable training and skills for the job market or to further their education, end quote. In addition to the job-ready training, my opponents, CAP also provides exposure to life coping skills, personal development, civics, personal and national values, and the tenets of good citizenship. The spin-off effect is seen with the BPO, the business, processing, and outsourcing, where the youth are able to execute gained knowledge and skills from CAP. Chief Education Officer at the Ministry, Dr. Grace McLean, told the JIS News that, and I quote, for the 2016-2017 year, CAP has been restructured and expanded to better meet the needs of students. It serves as a 2-year extension of secondary schooling, allowing students to remain at school at grades 12 and 13. She continued to say that there is also an allocation of $40,000 each to benefit 40 students who are enrolled and in approved sixth form programs and are pursuing CAPE and NCT VET skills, end quote. Skill and certification offerings under CAP include commercial food preparation, entrepreneurship, carpentry,
Welding,
call center operations, cosmetology, business administrations, tour guide, hospitality services, motor vehicle repairs, digital animation, customer service, healthcare, assistance, electrical engineering, information technology, and so much more. My opponents, take a look at your flyer in front of you. The Human Employment and Resource Training Trust, national training agency known to most Jamaicans simply as HEART, is a key driver on Jamaica's road to development. According to the HEART Trust NCA webpage, and I quote, formed in 1982 and restructured by the amended HEART Act in 1991, the organization focuses primarily on stimulating growth and job creation. This can only be achieved through the creation of highly skilled, productive, and a competitive workforce. The webpage continues to describe how the HEART Trust NCA operates 27 technical and vocational education centers, training locations, which provide youth with a variety of training options to all Jamaicans seeking to advance their career options, with programs geared at transforming the lives of school leavers as well as employed persons who require training and certification, end quote. HEART Trust NCA is actively engaged in certifying the youth of the Jamaican society in programs offered to them in school or to those who are actively employed. One of the many programs sheltered under HEART is School Leavers Training Opportunity Program, SLTOP. The SLTOP is designed to bridge the gap between school and the world of work for recent school leavers. My opponents, it gives these young persons the experience to develop a greater understanding of the complexities of the working environment and provides insights on how to become competitive members of the labor force. Trainees will work with a firm for up to 1 year, where they are encouraged to fully immerse themselves into the daily operations of the environment. In an article posted on the JIS webpage 2017 to 2018, Minister Audley Shaw noted that the HEART Trust will accelerate its training program for unattached youth and unattached young people, giving them a second chance to acquire marketable skills, end quote. My opponents. The Ministry of Education has been contributing positively to the youth with regards to external assessments. The youth are granted the privilege to sit math and English and a science subject at the CSEC level, paid entirely by the government through the CSEC board. This increases numeracy and literacy within the economy and also provides the youth with the opportunity to be technologically inclined. The Student Loan Bureau is Jamaica's premier student loan financing organization committed to ensuring that qualified, needy Jamaican students have equal access to financial assistance to pursue tertiary education. This entity, which began operations in 1970, was made a statutory body in 1971.
All right, so what exactly is the focus of our argument, and what sub-claims are there to support the argument, and are you seeing any weaknesses in our argument? Critical listening. There is silence. Are you guys hearing me?
Yes, sir, we're hearing.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me.
Okay, sir. So they are looking, they are agreeing with the moods, and
So we're speaking about the first speaker.
yes, so her topic was adequate opportunity created through education. And she uses the educational, I'm looking for the word, I guess, training thing like CAP and HEART. She uses those as primary examples, and she also states the amount of qualifications, because even when she was speaking about CAP, you know, she deliberately did the out of birth thing to show the amount of things they can be qualified for through CAP. And she also used the HEART as well, and she gave substantial information. She backed up her claims using her references and so on. And I think her stutter or whatever it is that she's doing is taken away from her speech, but I think it's an overall effective speech.
Okay, and they're high school students, they're nervous. So usually we don't grade them we don't mark them down too severely for things like that. Because, you know, it takes a lot of guts to go in front of an audience, especially at that age.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else? What's your take?
Sir, I did not understand when you say what is the negative impact from the speech. What negative impact you're referring to?
I never said anything about any negative impact. I'm asking what was the crux of her argument and what did she use as supporting evidence? I'm talking about the first speaker. I never said anything about any negative argument.
I heard that, sorry.
All I'm asking for is what was the focus, or what is the focus of the first speaker, and how does she go about supporting that focus? What, in other words, what pieces of evidence is used, and in your estimation, do you see any flaw or weaknesses in her argument based on the—
That I was asking about the flaw or weakness. Just basically what Spears said, just the little stutter, but overall she was very, her presentation was very informative, and she used references. I mean, anybody that go on the website of what she's relating to could have gotten those information, and persons who did not know that, they were educated on that day about it. So her speech was good.
Okay, all right. Let me— Oran, talk to me. I don't hear you. You're not talking.
I'm here, sir. I've been talking. But sir, overall she delivered a good speech. She even at one point even make reference to flyers that she provided to her opponent, and even at one point in her speech she asks her opponent to look around. So I guess there are more evidence of youth development. Even the same program that they are in the debating competition, that is a tool of the of youth development.
But remember now, the focus is not about youth development, you know. It says youth have adequate opportunities to positively impact the economy.
Yes, sir.
So it's not just have opportunity, but have adequate opportunity to positively impact the economy. And I'm just asking, it's not just the delivery. Remember I said that in this class, sometimes it's not just the delivery that we're looking at, we're also looking at the substance of what is said. Because some persons are very articulate, they're able to speak very, you know, eloquently, but when you actually examine the content of what is said, then you realize that it's not very substantive. So I want for you to always have both of those things in mind, that we're not just looking at the eloquence of the speaker, but also the substance of the speaker.
Yes, sir. I think she did her research as well, sir, and she made reference to quite a few sites and media as well, sir. So.
Okay, all right, thanks for that. Jerome, go ahead for me, and Junior. Jerome first, what's your take? Jerome Roof, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am here, sir.
Talk to me.
Sir, she from my understanding, sir, her point is solely based off what the government has been doing. Brought about a bit of statistics when she said the over 65,000, some thereabouts, sir, has enrolled in the programs. But what I'm saying, sir, What I didn't see her doing is giving how would I say now, how those persons have affected the economy.
Right. Thank you.
She just spoke about them being enrolled. She's not saying, she's not leaning to the side of the end result of it. So
Thank you. That's how we
negative.
judge a debate, people. You're not listening. That's how you judge a debate. That is how you judge. Because if I was a judge, that's where I would go. Because the mood says youth have adequate opportunities to positively impact the economy. So it is saying there are two things. If you notice how the mood is written, it is written in the present tense. Youth have, in other words, those opportunities exist now. But all you need to do as the opposition is to say, okay, these opportunities exist. Then let's look at the result. What's the rate of youth unemployment? How many youths are contributing to crime? What's the dropout rate of youth? What's the CXC results of youth? If you look at all of that, that's the big, because remember, the big word, the qualifier, well, I shouldn't be getting so excited. I was a debating coach. Sorry, I'm getting excited. The word adequate is important. And all you have to do is to look at the impact of youth and then say, okay, if it is so hunky-dory, let's look at what has happened. Let's look at the last 10 years. Let's look at the economy. What percent rate the economy has grown? Well, I should shut up. I'm getting too excited. I'm always on the opposition side. Based on the fact that I just want to, you have to listen. And this is what I'm saying, people. You have to listen critically in terms of some of the flaws in the argument. And that was one of the things that I picked up. So she mentioned the argument she has, she's supporting her side by mentioning CAP, as was mentioned, HeartTrust, NTA, SLB, and all of that. But what she's not, the other side of the coin is that student loans sometimes lead many youth into bankruptcy and force them to leave and things like that. Well, as I said, I'm getting excited. Let's hear from Junior. Go ahead, Junior. What's your take? Mr. Rumble, are you there? Okay, Mr. Rumble is not in the class today. All right, so I can mark him absent because I take in my register. If you're not able to speak at the moment, you're able to talk, sir. So I want for you to participate in my class. Don't tell me that you can't talk. You can, if you can type, you can talk. Well, type your answer then. I don't want any spectators in my class, sorry. You need to participate in the class. No spectators. So I'm waiting for you to type your answer in the chat. Let's listen to the opposition first speaker. Do you want to hear the rest of the first speakers to see if she comes full circle?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's listen.
In an article posted on the JIS News webpage headed, Minister Shaw announces reduction in interest rates on SLB loans. It was discussed that the Student Loan Bureau will be reducing its interest rates on loans for selected areas of study. This was disclosed by Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Honorable Audley Shaw, while opening the 2017-2018 budget debates in the House of Representatives on March 9, 2017. He stated that, and I quote, "For the areas of maritime and logistics, agriculture, engineering, and information and communication technologies, interest rates will decline from 9.5% to 6%. However, in the 2019 budget presentation, it was announced by the Minister of Finance, Nigel Clark, that postgraduate interest rates on SLB will be reduced from 9.5 to 7.5. The readjustment and recalibration of this SLB had been done to benefit our youth through the provision of funding to capitalize on opportunities made available to them both locally and abroad. Financial institutions have also been impacting growth, which is transferred into the country's economy through the availability of low interest rate loans that can be used for educational development and entrepreneurial activities. They have also granted scholarships to the youth. The credit union in particular, my opponents, has embarked on low interest and easy access loans to aid the youth in education and development. The Jamaica Defence Force Credit Union offers an education loan that is designed to assist members with back-to-school expenses of up to $20,000. The package is available for both adults and children for tuition fees, school books, and other school-related expenses. And the City of Kingston Credit Union also offers a maximum of $200,000 for its education loan. My learned opponents, if you cannot recognize by now the amount of opportunities available for our youth in the form of loans and government-aided programs, it's quite dismal. I assure you, however, that you will have no choice but to be persuaded by the middle of my second speaker's articulation. My opponents and audience, let's shift our focus for a little while. Now, contrary to popular belief, the impact of the youth on the economy, is also enhanced through spirituality, morality, and religion. This may sound unusual, but further research proves that persons engaged in a spiritual environment contributes to better business and economic outcomes. The Jamaican government must be commended for their decisions to keep religious practices such as prayers, devotions as a part of the educational system. According to research done at Georgetown University, firms and businesses, institutions located in communities with higher religiosity tend to adhere to ethical norms that are conducive to a stable economy and that positively impact such. Religious practices also naturally and efficiently cultivate the human capital necessary for a thriving economy. Now, my opponents, the enforcement and continuous instilling of core moral values will equip youth with motivation to stay on track during studies, thus improving their holistic performance in the economy. My opponents, whatever you are inclined towards, whether sports, educational endeavors, or business, whatever platform you choose to stand upon, the government has provided a wide variety of initiatives that will allow our youth to inadvertently and collectively contribute to the growth and development of the country's economy. My opponents, sit tight. We have much more in store for you. The proposition pauses.
All right. Any comments on the last part of her argument when she was looking at religion? Any comments on that section of the of her presentation in terms of development and support? I am listening, people. It's not a rhetorical question.
Not from me.
Anything, people? Didn't get this part of?
You should have stated like ways in which it could enforce.
Ways in which one?
Ways in which religion can help. But you just stated that through religion,
Okay. All right, so let's listen to the yes, go ahead.
Well, when she said that, I think she kind of switched the narrative a little.
Mm-hmm.
Was coming off like she spoke about religion, but it was not in depth of how it actually helped. But I don't know, I guess it come off like she switched the narrative a little.
Right. So they as Georgia is saying that she didn't speak in depth of how religion actually helped. So in other words, the religion part of her argument was underdeveloped, because if you have two subclaims, then you're supposed to adequately develop them, right? If you have two supporting pieces of evidence for the subclaim, they're supposed to be adequately developed. So it's kind of left. It was kind of left hanging. But let's hear from the opposition.
Blank.
Right. Let's hear the opposition's argument.
Karen Handel said, creating more and better jobs is how you build a strong economy. Honorable judges, invited guests, timekeeper, colleagues, and my worthy opponents, good morning. The moot brought forward by the proposition today reads, Be it resolved that our youths have been given adequate opportunities to positively impact our country's economy. Judges, we who are here today in this competition are the future. We are the ones to build the economy. When my team and I analyze where we will be in 5 years, at no time in the discussion did we see ourselves in Jamaica. Why is this so? The answer is jobs. No jobs, and availability of jobs for us. As a result, we cannot stifle our conscience and agree with my opponents that adequate opportunities are given. Our youth are not given. Did I say not given? Not given adequate opportunities to impact our country's economy. To substantiate our point, I will define the key terms and restate the mood for clarity. I will also outline the stance that we will take and point out that education or certification without a job is equal to inadequate opportunities to develop the economy. My second speaker will highlight in particular how brain drain, which is a result of the inadequate opportunities present, serves as a key factor that stifles the growth of an economy and illustrate how the opportunities present are severely lacking. While my third speaker will concretize our stance by using logical points to show the stagnation of the economy as a result of the inadequate opportunities for the youth. According to the UNESCO website, in relation to education and employment, youth is often indicated as a person between the age where he or she may leave compulsory education and at the age at which he or she finds his or her first employment. Ladies and gentlemen, I consulted the Oxford English Dictionary for the other definitions. It showed adequate to mean fully sufficient or acceptable. It says opportunities or chances for progress or advancement. Positive mean with no possibility of doubt. Impact is a noticeable event or influence, while economy means the state of a country or region in terms of the production and consumption of goods and service and the supply of money. When I combine the definition, the mood is rephrased to be saying, Jamaicans between the age where they may leave compulsory education and the age at which they find their first employment have been given fully sufficient chances for progress or advancement with no possibility of doubt to influence the country in terms of the production and the consumption of goods and services and the supply of money. Judges, I smiled to myself when I rephrased the mood, and my teammates and I started to discuss our own future. And it is sad what this mood opened our eyes to, and as such, we cannot agree with this motion today. It is a fact, however, that opportunities are here in Jamaica, that much we can agree with. But the operative word here is adequate. There is not sufficient. There is not enough opportunities to meet the demand of the number of youths that seek employment. And when we speak of employment, we are talking about to be working in your area of specialization. My opponents will come here today to flaunt the statistics of how the country's unemployment rate has dropped in 2013. A country with a population of over 2.89 million people with such adequate opportunities to promote growth should not be struggling due to low growth and high public debt. In 2013, the government launched an ambitious reform program to stabilize the economy, which according to the statistics, unemployment rate went down, GDP declined below 100%. With all this, crime and violence level remain high, poverty level remains high. The same sources say this emphasizes the need to address the issues of youth unemployment, education, and social cohesion. As a youth myself, I see others like me completing high school at the sixth form level, and one of two things: either completing university and cannot get a job, or leaving high school and can't find a job. There are educational opportunities out there, but for those who are fortunate enough to reach university or college. What is the purpose of being certified when there are no jobs for you? Karen Handel said, creating more and better jobs is the way to build a strong economy. After the hard trust training, where do they go? After university, where do they go? Whenever people can't find a job in their area of specialization, they become frustrated. And that is why crime is on the rise among youths. The government and other stakeholders, Mr. Speaker, create training and no jobs. My opponents here may have the belief that being educated and sitting at home can build an economy. Well, let me see them leave school and do that. Everybody cannot be entrepreneurs. Our economy will remain stagnant, no growth. We look around and see a lot of beautiful homes and people being employed in construction, and we say money is in the country. Yes, but where did it come from? The same people who cannot get a job seek employment overseas. With brain drain, how do we build or positively impact our economy? My second speaker will elaborate more on that. These people send money home to their children and other family members, and the cycle continues. The economy becomes stagnant. Mr. Speaker, some of the youth that are deprived of the opportunity to be gainfully employed in their field of study and who do not seek employment outside of Jamaica become scammers, gunmen, and drug dealers, which of course impact the economy, but certainly not positively, not accepted. Underemployment, Mr. Speaker, is a sore issue. We have many universities and college graduates working in call centers. Why pay thousands of dollars to study and then do a job that does not require a degree? My opponents, you really call this opportunity for growth of the economy? Most of these call centers have foreign-based accounts. Our Jamaican youths work and then the money goes to build another country's economy. What is being provided for our youth to build our country? Where are the scientific research labs that we have? Our great minds will have to seek that out other countries to be able to carry out a good research. Tell me, my opponents, are you proud when you hear the news reporter say, Jamaican-born educated at Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Jane becomes the first woman to design so and so? We need to provide the opportunities to not only birth these great people, but to provide opportunities for training and then ensure that jobs are available. By doing this, we will see our economy being developed. Ladies and gentlemen, there is inadequate opportunities for youth when we look at the House of Parliament with 83 years old Lester Mike Henry, Minister of Transport and Mining, being the longest serving member of Parliament. And there are more like him in that one place. A place where young people can build the economy but are not given the opportunity to do so. The opposition is not dismissing the contribution of those older politicians. However, what we are saying is that those individuals who have been in politics until the required age of retirement should take a back seat in sharing their wisdom and experiences through mentorship, hence allowing new ideas to surface for growth through innovation and job creation, thus improving the economy positively. We as young people have the power to transform our nation's economy, but without sufficient employment opportunities, we will inadvertently contribute to the breakdown of the economy and the brain drain issue, which my second speaker will allude to. Creating more employment for the youth will help us, the youth, and our country succeed, hence building strong economic muscles for further growth and development. There are opportunities such as scamming, drugs, and human trafficking that builds the economy, but in a negative way. What we need to see are opportunities that will positively impact the economy and not the ones that has a negative effect. The opposition pauses.
I especially liked...
All right, so let's talk. I'm listening.
All right, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I must come. She speaks very strong. All right. I like her line of argument, but she has nothing solid to back it, as in statistics. She speaks of persons going through the different programs, the different levels of education, and finishing and not getting in a job, but there's no statistics there to back it. She strayed off a bit when she went into politics, that moved from youth when she said 83 years old, and her what I call now, what her opinion is where that is concerned, who must sit back and let the youth flourish, so to speak, if you understand what I'm saying. Don't really have no she have all of the great ideas what to do, but she strayed away from the point. She strayed away from the bit. She never used the statistics, as Mr. Sir, to back the unemployment rate of youths. She didn't when she went into drugs and scamming. Should I write this down, you know? Hold on, sir. Me soon come back. Should I write it down, you know?
So, sir,
yeah,
I believe that she was more of opinion than factual, right? So, there was no true statistics to her argument, sir, right? But she did in the first part of her speech, she did speak to the where her opposition had fallen short in terms of the rate of university graduates that are jobless, or the young people that are trained but they are still at home and all that. So, yes, that my look at it.
Okay. Anybody else?
Even DSN, sir. In the first part, DSN, sir. She had the best opportunity to kill her opponent, you know. When she said that they speak about the different programs, but what are the statistics to say how they benefit the country, right?
Right.
She had given the unemployment rate of youth where even after they have completed different level of education, if she had given that statistics, should I kill him right there, sir?
Yeah, because she actually started very well, but then she kind of get weak coming on.
Okay. Yes, there was somebody else who was trying to get in.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I was saying that she did mention about the population and the unemployment, but she did in fact state the numbers. I just wanted to add that point to Jerome's answer.
Sir.
And she did in fact, I thought she delivered a good speech, being that even though he was refuting the claims that she mentioning the politician, but what she's simply saying that he's 83, he passed the age of retirement, he should give the young youths a chance.
In a case like this, do you think if you are to grade this if you're a judge, what are you marking how would you assess the speakers? Are you assessing them based on content, or are you assessing them based on delivery, or which one would play a greater role in your
Content, sir.
Content? Right. Right. Okay. Content, right. So,
sir.
Yes.
I wanted to comment on how I believe she did.
Go ahead.
I think she's doing well, because she kept hitting the nail on the head, and she kept mentioning points where everybody can relate to. First of all, she said that only persons who are fortunate enough to enter university can really positively affect the economy.
Yeah, but who are these persons though, and how many are they? You have to measure it though. In a debate, you have to give us specifics.
Yeah, but
who are these persons and how many are they?
But sir, sir, she went ahead and killed her own point, you know, sir. Why when she saying they have university and college graduates who leave and are still at home? So those who are still at home, how can they positively affect the economy? So she said that, then she went back and said that.
No. That's not what she was saying. She was saying that she was really pointing. She was kind of being sarcastic, but her tone didn't match what she was saying. But what she was really saying is that how can these persons be so educated and then they're sitting home, then they can't positively impact the economy? What I think, you see, the thing is, in debates, what she did it to some in some instances. The two words that are key in the mood is adequate and positively. So it's not that it's not that they're not opportunities, but are there adequate opportunities? And it's not that they won't impact the economy, but are they impacting the economy positively? And persons who said, for example, that it would have been better to have some kind of statistical data, because if you're talking about unemployment, and there were times when she was not talking about you, she was kind of talking about Jamaica in general, about the unemployment and all that. And I thought what she was doing now was to say that that is really a reflection of the reality of young people, where the larger adult population who are unemployed, it really reflects the opportunities that are not there, for the adequate opportunities that are not there. But it wasn't so clear in her argument. So I agree that she needed a lot more evidence, solid evidence. You can't just come with a lot of what we call platitudes and then we don't see the evidence, because the first speaker gave us a lot of, she was quoting from Hartress NTA, Student Loan Bureau, CAP, she mentioned BPO. The first speaker of the opposition did a good job of mentioning BPO. Okay, yes, they're employed, but it's not adequate opportunity. And it's true, because she's mentioned the fact that most of the money is sent overseas. But she should have given us some sort of sense now how many young people are working in the call centers, because it is what is called underemployment. It's called underemployment. In other words, you are employed, but you're underemployed because you are above that which you're working in. So it's like somebody have a medical degree working in a call center, or even having any degree at all, because the job requires just 5 6s. You see my point? So she needed the evidence. That was what was missing. She needed the evidence. I think she was a better speaker than the first speaker, than the first speaker of the proposition, but the evidence was very weak. Was very, very weak. But you guys are listening. All right. So the other thing that, yes.
But can she really pull any data to match that? Because I think she's correct, because a lot of university graduates are working in call centers.
Yeah, so but you need statistics though.
Yeah, but isn't it that because there are no opportunities for them, as she mentioned? There are no opportunities.
Yeah, but so no. But I am saying, just like in a court, you need evidence. You need evidence. If you want evidence, go to the PIOJ. PIOJ, the Planning Institute of Jamaica, they have a lot of information on employment and unemployment rates. There's another, the Statistics Bureau. What's that place called again? Statin also has information. There are many Gleaner articles. There are some Gleaner and Observer articles that give you a sense of the number of young people who are employed in the call center sector. So you can't listen just like that. You need the evidence. It's just like the case with some of what is being discussed in the dance hall about who raped one, who don't rape. You need evidence. So even if the person was raped and you don't have adequate evidence or sufficient evidence, then of course you're going to be freed, because there's not enough evidence. So yes, we know that the opportunities, anecdotally, we know that the opportunities are not adequate, but where's the evidence? You have to have it. In a debate, you have to have evidence. This is really like a court, when you're in, you have the prosecution and the defense. It's really the same thing. Anything you say, you must be able to prove. If you say that the opportunities are not adequate, okay, it's not adequate because in between 2019 or between 2015 to 2019, 50% of the persons who finished got a university degree in Jamaica or tertiary education in Jamaica ended up working in a call center. That's how you prove it. Another 20% ended up doing scamming. Another 3% ended up in the prison system or in the penal system. That's how you do it. You get the information. You have to get the information. You can't just come and talk. I think it was difficult for them to find the information, but if you go to like Statin and PIOJ, they have some information, or even World Bank. World Bank does a lot of research in Jamaica. They have a lot of research in Jamaica. All right. So I think you get the sense of, in terms of critical listening, it's important that even for a budget presentation or a sectoral debate, you are actually listening to what is being said by the speaker. Some persons, they're directed labor right, or they're directed PNP, and as a result, they really don't listen, because if their party leader or their party person is speaking, they are so in love and overly emotionally involved in the speech that they actually don't listen critically and able to, look at strengths and weaknesses and even look at flaws. All right, so that's the whole notion of critical listening, that you're able to dissect and see the value of, or the merit of, or the lack thereof in what is being said. The other thing I want us to do is to look at some examples of sentence outlines that are, do I have all of them? Let me see if I can find, I should have some, not all. Oh Lord, this person never finished. All right, give me one sec, because what I would want you to do as in groups is to kind of, let me see if this is one. This is one of the corrections. All right, so let me give you this, but I wanted to give you different mood. I didn't want to give you the same mood. All right, so may be it resolved are we? That the implementation of the state of emergency why am I not seeing the actual mood? Has contributed significantly I don't want to say it a certain way. We have that? How did I phrase? This is the one. Right? So be it resolved that the state of emergency has helped to address crime We have that?
Has helped to do what, sir?
Address crime. All right, the other one is I want to give you one that is like so. Brexit was either a triumph of democracy or an ill-informed notion.
Can you repeat that, sir?
Brexit was either a triumph of democracy or an ill-informed notion. We have that?
Sarah, didn't hear any part of the last question that you're reading.
Can somebody just repeat for me, please? Can somebody repeat for me, please?
Brexit is either a form of democracy or an ill-informed notion.
No, son, that's not what I said. Hold on. That's not what I said.
Sir, you said Brexit was either a trial of democracy.
Triumph was either a triumph of democracy or an ill-informed notion. Brexit was either a triumph of democracy or an ill-informed notion. We have that?
Yes, sir.
What's the first word, sir? So what something another was either a triumph or an ill-informed.
Can somebody repeat, please? I'm not sure why she's not hearing me. Can you repeat, please? Somebody just repeat for me. Or just put it in the chat. I'm not sure why she's not hearing me. I'm trying to find my All right, do we have that? We have it, right? Oh, this is not. Something. All right, so what we're going to do, what I want for you to do for me is to write the thesis, 3 topic sentences, and just that for now, because time is of the essence. So, and then I'll guide you along the way, and then you're going to convert that note into a persuasive speech. But I'm finding, but there's something else I'm looking for. Why am I not finding it? Just give me 1 sec, people.
Both are for either or.
No, yeah, either or is always either or. And I'm going to put you in groups, but give me 1 sec. There's something else I'm looking for that I am not finding. I'm trying to find, where did I save that thing? All right, this would be argument. No. This. This is something that my students know already. Narration. Okay, it's okay. All right, so I'm going to put you in. No. All right, so go in the breakout room for me. You're going to choose one side of the argument and then come up with your thesis and then your 3 topic sentences, and we have a discussion on the other side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to do the outline. Once you're able to write an expository essay, you should be able to do, because it takes the same in terms of organization. And then now I'll show you over time now how to convert that into a persuasive speech. All right. So I've opened the breakout rooms. So just go in the breakout rooms for me. Giving you about 15 minutes or so, just to topic sentence, thesis and topic sentence.
Sir, I'm not sure how I'm reach back right here. So you just kick me back. I'm not sure
I'm
what
going to open the breakout room. Just hold on. All right, go back in the breakout room for me. Carry on. Which room were you in?
Sir, the laptop just shut down on me, so I don't know.
All right. Let me put you in room. No, there are too many of you guys in that room. All right, let me put you in 3. All right, was any room able to finish?
Sir, the time too short.
So were you able at least to come up with your thesis? Hello, were you able to come up at least, any room was able to come up with at least a thesis?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, we can try.
Let's hear it.
Sir, for group 1, our thesis significant reduction to crime due to implementation of the state of emergency.
Georgette, you're in that group?
Yes, sir.
Georgette, are you in that group? In room 1?
Yes, she is, sir.
Yes, sir.
And you call that a thesis? Georgette, you need to go back and look at what I call a thesis. You passed communication 1, right?
Yes, sir.
Right, so go back and look at what is a thesis. I won't fault anybody else, but you know what I'm expecting. That's not a thesis.
Sir.
Yes.
I think was it group 3, guys?
No, that was room 1.
No, I'm saying the room that I was in, so I don't remember what.
Yes, yes, group 3.
Yes, sir. We went with the first one, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Our thesis is we're in agreement with the topic.
That's not a thesis. I need to hear the sentence.
Hold on, sir. Hold on. Oh, we never really write address the pointers, then we come up with no, sir.
Did you pass come 1?
Yes, sir.
And we were taught how to write a thesis?
Yes, sir, we were, sir.
Okay. All right. So you have to give me my thesis because remember, the thesis determines what the points are going to the points that you're going to develop.
At the end of the thesis.
No, the thesis is 1 sentence, sir, with your 3 subclaims. I'm not sure what you were taught in common, but I guess I have to re-educate you. So the thesis is...
Yes. Sorry, go ahead,
Yes,
sir.
Yes, so the thesis is 1 sentence with your 3 subclaims. All right, Patricia, you have a thesis?
I think so, sir.
All right,
All
so
right,
let's hear it.
Reducing murder rate, the reduction in murder rate, reducing the opportunities for gangs to engage in criminality, and allowing the state to control public gathering and movements are some ways the implementation of the state of emergency has helped to address crime.
All right, something like that. Something like that. All right, but it's a little bit too long. All right, so we will continue on Wednesday to flesh out the idea a little bit more. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday. All right, I'm ending a few minutes before the time. Usually we end class 10 minutes to the hour. So what you should do is to work with each other to come up with the thesis and the topic sentences. All right, before you go, hold on. Let me, I don't want to show you people's work, but. Right, here's an example. All right, so let me post an example which cannot be used. All right, look at that thesis for me. So notwithstanding the fact that the state of emergency may encroach on the rights of citizens, it should be the standard way of fighting crime in Jamaica, as it has proven to be the most effective means of reducing crimes, giving citizens a sense of security, and boosting economic growth. So the 3 subclaims are reducing crime, giving citizens a sense of security, and boosting economic growth. So those are the subclaims to be developed in the body. So the main claim is the thesis, and the subclaims are the topic sentences. All right, but I'll give you some additional information on Wednesday so that you are better able to flesh out the idea. All right, guys?
Okay, sir.
All right, come with something. All right, come with something. All right, so enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy your day tomorrow until I see you on Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You too.
sir.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
You too, sir.